Hello and welcome to the second part of our previous video. In this video, we will be understanding about web scraping, data modeling, map visualizations and saving the Power BI file. So let's get started. For this, we will be using our old file, which was like this. Now, we have loaded the social progress report, which has some basic human needs, foundation, work, well-being, opportunity, rank and country. Now, for this video, we will now in the further this video we need to understand some maps. For those maps we need continents data. Currently we don't have that, so let's load the continent data from web again. So for this we need to do get data, go to the web, and here the box will open where we have to paste our link. So go to your browser and search for countries and continents table. So scroll down, go to this website voice voter, click here. You can see here the table of countries and continent is there. So copy this link and paste it in your Power BI. Let's click OK. Okay, the data has been loaded. Let's check. So table 1 is the one we want. Let's check other tables also. Table 2 not required. Table 4 is not good also. Okay, so table 1 is good. We can load this table. But again, in the preview you can see that the table first row is named as country and the continent. We don't want it in the first row, we want it at the header. So what we can do, like what we did in the last video or the first part of this video, we went to the transform data and we used first row as a header. So we will do that again. Okay, click here. You can see that option used first row as headers will come, or in here in this home section also, as at this side you can see used first row as headers option is also there. So click here. Now the first row has been promoted to the header. Let's just rename this here only, name it as continents, and let's load this table. So close and apply. It will take few seconds to load. Okay, you can see the table continent has been loaded. Let's just check it. So continents has the country and the continent. Okay, now what we saw is that we can load the data from the web and how to use a little bit of Power Query to format our data. So let's just format it in here only. Let's categorize it as a country, and for continent we will make it as a continent. Okay, now it's ready to use. Now what I will do is that I will go to the third view, which is the model view. And in the model view, you can see that automatically there is a connection which has been made. So I will just drag it here, keep it. Okay, I just keep it like that. Okay, so you can see the continents table and the sample data has been connected. And also the continents table and the social progress report is also connected. So if you hover over this line, you can see the two fields in the tables are getting highlighted. This means that these two tables are connected on the basis of these two columns. So country from continents and a country from sample data is mapped. Okay. Similarly, here you can see the country from continents and country from social progress report is getting mapped. So this is what cardinality or data modeling. In the SQL, it is called as the RDBMS, which is Relational Database Management System. So this is nothing but the model view of a Power BI, where you can build a relationship between the tables, and you can use multiple table at once in your report. So in a real-time scenario, what happens is that your data comes from the multiple sources or multiple table. Okay. So in that in that scenario, you need to use all the tables. So there has to be some connection between those tables. Otherwise, it won't work. So for that purpose, data modeling is very important. Okay. So this was little bit introduction about data modeling. We will understand this concept in our further lectures in depth. Now, let's go to our report view and let's try to build some visualization. So I have taken the new page and named it as a maps. Let's create a map. So here I can see I can take a normal map, just make it a big size. And I will now what will I do? I will take a country from the social progress report. So here you can see that my bubbles are overlapping. Okay. So what I will do, I will take a continent from the continents report and I will drop it into the legend. So legend is the thing which formats based on the color, which formats based on the color. So now you can see that Asia is in the orange part. So I can now see that this all part is Asia and these are the countries in the Asia. So now it is highlighting properly. Okay. Now let's go to the model view and I will delete this relationship between continent and social progress report. So let's just delete it, right click here and delete the relationship. Okay, now let's go back to our report again and you can see the report has gone. It is showing that can't display the visual. Let's see the details. What is the error? It is saying can't determine the relationship between the fields. This means that now we have deleted the relationship between the continent and the social progress report. So Power BI is not able to detect the relationship. So that is why we are using the fields from these two tables in the single visual. And there is no relationship between this table. That is why it is showing error. So if I want, I can directly click here and fix the relationship. So click here. It will ask that there is a relationship missing. Use auto detect to search relationship or create them manually. So auto detect, you can click on auto detect and it will automatically create the relationship. But for now, let's go to the create relationship. How to do it manually, let's understand. So after opening this, you can see that the two tables or maybe the sample progress report or sample data is here and the continent is here. So now I want to create a new relationship. So I will click on the new. I will take the table continents here and I will take the table social progress report here. So it has automatically mapped the country. Click on OK. Close. It's loading. And now you can see our visual is back. So this is what are the importance of the data modeling. Okay. Now let's try to understand other visuals. Let's create a new page in which I will take this visual, which is a field map. So okay. So in the field map, you can see there are different things like location, legend, latitude and longitude, same as the maps. So let's again try to take a country in the location, and let's try to drag a continent into the legend. So I will just drag and drop it. So now you can see that it is loading. It will take a few seconds and it has to map all the cities and everything. In the right corner you can see it is happening, like a refresh symbol is there. Okay, so you can see it is still loading, but you can see that it has highlighted the continents. So here you can see the North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa. So this is what the field map is. Now if I want, I can add the tooltips also. Let's add a like basic human needs in the tooltips option. Let's also add the opportunity. Let's also add score. Okay. Now if you hover over this report, you can see that it is showing for country Belarus, continent is Europe, and other tooltip option which we added: basic human needs, opportunity, and sum of score. So it is summarizing all this. We can change. We can take this score. If you click on this arrow, you'll see you can change this to average, minimum, maximum, all that. Okay. So these are the options you can use here. So this was the field map. Okay. So let's just remove this. Okay. Now you can take a new page again, and let's take a this is the shape map. So if you click on the shape map, let's drag a country here. So now you can see that after dragging a country, it is only showing one part as highlighted. So what is this? So in the shape map, what happens is that it shows it only captures one location at a time. So that is why it is showing like this. So if you remove the country and take a continent, so it will highlight, it will not show a proper data. It will work more like a in a real time, it will work properly. So but you get the understanding is that it will take only one location at a time. So this was the shape map. So we understood the map, and then the field map and the shape map. So now let's understand the other maps in the Power BI. So if we go to the next page, let's take there is a Azure map, and as soon as you take the Azure map, you can see it requires a sign in. So what are the Azure map? Azure maps are from the Microsoft's original maps, which will which you can use. It has the same features as the other map, but they like these options are like more accurate. So that's why we used Azure maps, and the next one which was the ArcGIS maps for Power BI. So these graphs are more accurate than the other maps. Okay, so that's why these maps are used. So you just need to get the understanding that yes, this maps will provide you more options than other maps. Okay, so this requires an internet connection, and it will work more properly when there is a real-time data. Okay, so just need to highlight those information. If you take let's say ArcGIS map, let's see if we can use somewhere. Okay, I will take a country in location. Let's see what happens. Does it show some kind of data? Yes, it is getting loaded. Let's delete this Azure map. Let's make it a big. So see, you can see that it provides us the more option. So if you instead of and okay, one more thing to highlight in ArcGIS is that instead of legend there is an option called color. So let's take a continent from continents into the color. Okay, it is getting loaded. and see the continents are getting highlighted. Okay, if you click on these three lines, you will get the more option like a select location in your layer, search option, and more other options, settings and all that. So this is what the difference between these three maps and Azure and ArcGIS map is. This will provide you the more accurate information. Okay, this will work in the real time properly. Okay, now let's understand the next part, which is the scatter plot. So if you come down to the third line and the third chart, it is called as a scatter chart. So let's take a scatter chart. So what does this scatter chart is used for? So scatter chart is mostly used for showing the correlation between two variables. It shows if two variables have negative or a positive relationship, like if one is increasing, what is the effect on the other, like that. So let's take a okay, let's take a country in the values. Okay, I will take what I will do, I will take a basic human needs in the x-axis and score into the y-axis. Okay, score into the y-axis. Okay, so now you can see that it has given the relationship between these two variables. So on the y-axis we can see there is a score, and on the x-axis we can see there is a human needs. So there is a relationship that as uh, the human needs, basic human needs are getting increased, some of score is also getting increased. So it is showing like this, that a slope like form or a line which is increasing when we move ahead, like that. So this is what it is used for. Now if I want, I can use in the legend, I can use a continent. So let's take a continent here, and you can see that different the scatter has been highlighted as per the different continents. Okay, now there is a one more thing. If you scroll down, it is a play axis. So what is the play axis? So play axis is a thing which is mostly used for the timeline, which means if you want to see what happened in the whole year. So let's say if you want to see from January to December, so in the play axis you can drop the all the months, so it will show all the months of that year, and it will play that data. So for now let's take a continent in the play axis. Let's see what happens. So as soon as you drop continent in the play axis, you can see there is some kind of error. So this error is due to we have dropped legend, we have dropped continent in the legend and also in the play axis. So let's remove it from the legend and let's see what it shows. Okay, now it is showing. You can see uh, as you dropped continent in the play axis, there is a one play button in your graph. If you play that, click on this, you can see the continents are changing and the data is changing as per that. So this is how you can use a play axis. This is mostly used for the year, month or day wise data. It is not used for the textual data. So for example, only we have taken the continents. Okay, so uh, we have understood what are the different types of maps: shape map, field map, Azure map, ArcGIS, and we have also understood what is the scatter chart and why it is used. So this was all for this session. Now in the last part of this session, we will be understanding how to save your Power BI file and in what format you can save it. So let's say if I want to save it on this page, particular page. So I will go to that page and let's go to the option file, and there are two options. Now if you are doing this on the new report, it will automate, you can directly go to the save. But if let's say it is the old file, you have already saved it and you want to change its name, you want to save it again by different name. So what you do need to do is that So click on the save as option. As soon as you click, you will be forwarded to this where you want to save. You can create a folder uh, in which you want to save your files. Let's just rename it as part 4. Okay. Now you can save your PBX file in the two formats. One is the .pbix and one is the .pbit. So when to use which format? So .pbix is generally used because in the real time when we develop a application, we need to do a lot of changes again and again. So in that scenario, we use a .pbix. And uh, now, what is the exact reason to use the .pbix is that in the real time what happens is that you have to make a lot of changes, and we want to keep all the visuals, all the data, sorry, all the data in our application same, but we want to change the formatting, or say we need to create different visuals or change the visuals. So in that scenario we will be using .pbx. And whenever we want to make the data, we want to change our data but keep the visuals the same, so in that scenario we will be using template. So I guess you are clear about the difference between .pbx and .pbit. So in this course we will be understanding how to use the different kind of visualizations, how to create new visualizations. So for that purpose we will be saving it as a .pbx. So I will make it clear again. .pbix to use whenever we want to keep a data same and create a new visualization or format a existing visualization. And .pbit, which is the template format, we will be using that whenever we want to keep our visuals same, but we want to change our data set. So in that case, we will be using template. So for now, I will be saving it as .pbx. So you can rename it and then click on save. Automatically your file will be saved in your folder. Now, in this session, we have understood about web scraping. Then we understood about the data modeling, how the data modeling plays an important role in the Power BI, how you can use it. Uh, then we also understood about some maps, how to use different kinds of maps, field map, the visual shape map, Azure map, and ArcGIS. Also, we understood about the scatter plot, how the scatter plot can help us build the relationship between two variables. And at the end, we understood how you can save the Power BI file in the two formats, the .pbix and the .pbit. I hope you understood all the things in this video. Thank you so much.